Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jamieology. If you're new here, my name is Jamie, and today we are going to be talking about my post-grad journey. So stick around, this is gonna be a wild ride. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and that's because when I graduated college, I didn't expect at all to experience what I did. I expected everything to be rainbows and butterflies, get a job, work, be successful, all that jazz. But that's not what happens, and it's a lot more difficult and a lot more intense than that. So I really wanted to share my experience with it so that you know that you're not alone in what you're feeling post-graduation. So I have my notes here and we're gonna get right into it. So I want to start off by talking about my story with graduation. Leading up to graduation, I was super excited. I was finishing my classes, finishing my final big assignments, and that was an incredible feeling. And then I got to about a week before graduation and I was like, wow, this is it. This is gonna be over in a week and I have no idea what I'm doing. And that was a really hard realization for me because I really enjoyed college. I got super involved in everything. I met a lot of people on campus, including students, staff, faculty, everybody. I liked being involved on campus. I liked the resources that campus provided me, and all of that was just gonna be gone in a blink of an eye. I walk across the stage at graduation and that's it. So realizing that I wasn't gonna have that anymore was a really big thing for me to come to terms with. It's like that saying where you don't know what you have until it's gone. And that was really true for me during that last week of graduation. But once I walked across the stage and graduation day was over, we were done celebrating, I was lucky enough to graduate a semester early, so I graduated in December, and that gave me a little bit of time to just relax because we had Christmas and New Year's, so I just kind of took that time to recuperate and finish celebrating at my graduation. But as soon as those celebrations were done, once New Year's passed and it was January 2nd, and I was like, okay, now I need to buckle down. Now I need to do all of this job searching and applications and interviews. And that scared me a lot because I had never been in an interview for a full-time job before that's actually a professional career. And I have a lot of anxiety. So going into that situation was hard. It's really hard, and I had to research and I had to learn how to interview correctly in a professional setting. And even after I did all of that and going into those interviews, I still didn't feel prepared and I didn't feel like I was capable of doing those jobs. And every time I went in for an interview, after that interview is done, I'm like, I didn't do well enough. And every time I looked at more job postings, I felt like I'm not qualified for this. I would find one flaw with it and I'd be like, this isn't it. And eventually I just realized the jobs I was applying for, I didn't actually want in the first place. None of them sounded like something I would want to do for a significant amount of time, much less my entire life. So I came to the realization that my dream job that I thought I wanted throughout the last 2 years of college wasn't my dream job. That was devastating. It was devastating because I went to college thinking that that was my passion, thinking that that's what I wanted to do, and no. I realized it's not what I want to do at all. And I found that my real passion was being able to work for myself and starting my own business, and I felt very lost in starting that as well because I hadn't had any business classes. I was a psychology major, and psychology plays into business, sure, but I didn't have any of that background in marketing and advertising and doing any of that, so I had to learn all of that on my own, after I'd already gotten a college degree that was supposed to promise me a job. You can see where I was a little concerned. Then I started working on my business. I started setting everything up for my online business. I started YouTube, which is awesome. I'm really happy that I get to share all of this with you. And I started my blog, and I've been working on products. And as I've been working through all of that and getting it all set up, I've also been dealing with pressure from family, friends about, hey, are you gonna get a job? Hey, are you gonna get a job? I got a job, are you getting a job? And that's even harder because I don't feel confident telling them what my path is, what I've chosen to do, because I don't feel like I'm gonna be supported in it. I've kind of cut myself off from people because I don't want to tell them, because I don't want to get judgment. Yeah. But even if you're not going into something different than your major, even if you're just applying for jobs and applying for jobs, jobs are hard to get. They are hard to get, and it's not just gonna fall in your lap right away, at least not for most people. And there's a lot of pressure around you, social pressure, family pressure, to get a job right away and start earning money. And there's also financial pressure because you still have to pay bills. And if you lost your job after college, or if you quit your job for starting this job search, then that is really stressful because you have to find a way to pay the bills. So this all continued to build and build and build, and it all contributed to what's called graduation depression, where I just felt like I was a failure for not getting a job after graduation. I was a failure for questioning what job I actually wanted for my life. I was a failure for not making money right now. I was a failure for letting people down, and it was just so much pressure that I was putting on myself to just be this perfect person. It was an unrealistic expectation that I put on myself, and I started isolating myself from other people because I just felt so bad about who I was and why I wasn't doing what I considered the right thing, that I didn't want to be around people because I felt like if I was judging myself, then they were definitely going to be judging me too. Another thing I needed to learn was how to create a new schedule, because with college and with school, basically my entire life I had a set schedule in place that was already fixed for me. I had specific times where I had to be in classes. I had specific times where I had a block to eat lunch or dinner. I had meetings that were planned out throughout the day. So I had a set schedule, and as soon as graduation hit, I was lost. I didn't have a schedule for my day. I didn't have a time that I had to wake up. I didn't have a time that I had to eat meals. I didn't have a time where I had to sit down and do homework. I just had no set schedule, and that can be really hard. We run on schedules. People run on schedules, and I didn't have a schedule. So I had to make that schedule for myself. I had to figure out, okay, when am I gonna get up so that I can be productive, so that I can at first do the job searching or work on my business, and what is my schedule gonna look like for that. And it was a process. It was a long process to try and figure out a schedule, and I'm still not there yet. I'm still trying to figure out what the best time is for me to do certain things, and it's just a lot harder than having that schedule already planned out for you. Okay, so now that I've gone through my story, I really want to share with you a few things that I learned throughout my graduation journey. The first thing is, it is okay not to know what you want to do. We have our whole lives to figure that out. You don't have to know just because you graduated college. You could have a major and figure out, hey, I really don't want to do a job in this major. But you have a bachelor's degree, so you could at least go and get a job in some field and explore. You can explore your passions, see what you actually want to do, instead of just throwing yourself into a career because it's the major that you chose. And that brings me into my next point, which is it is okay to do something different. I feel like we have so much pressure to just follow this normal pattern of things where you graduate high school, go to college, graduate college, get a job, work your whole life, and then retire. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can do something different. We can change that pattern for ourselves if that is not our path. Be willing to try something different if you do not know what you want to do. It's okay to explore. Your 20s is a great time to explore what you want to do. There's so many options, and you don't have that many commitments right now if you don't have kids or if you're not married. You have that flexibility to try different things. The third thing that I learned is that it is important to confide in other people. Like I said, when I was going through this graduation depression, I really cut myself off from people, and I didn't let myself tell people what I was going through because I felt like they wouldn't understand and they might judge me for it. But as soon as I opened up to people, they were a lot more understanding, and my friends that graduated with me understood what I was going through too because they experienced the same thing. Even if they got a job, it wasn't a great job. It wasn't the job that they wanted, but they're just working to make money right now. It's important to let people in and tell them what you're experiencing because it's so much better than just going through it on your own. My fourth point is understand that it's a journey. Life doesn't move in a linear pattern. It doesn't. There's ups, there's downs, there's everything in between, and we need to be okay with that. We need to be okay that not everything's gonna go the way that we originally intended or originally planned it to go. I thought I would have a full-time job 2 months ago, and I didn't get that right away. I didn't. And now I'm starting my own business and going on that roller coaster of a journey, but I'm just taking it step by step and trying to let myself enjoy that journey because it is fun. It's fun to explore what you're doing with your life and figure things out. And you can't enjoy that if you're busy worrying about where it's going to lead in the end. So take that time to just enjoy where you are in life because this is an incredible time in your life. You just got your degree that you've been working so hard for. Enjoy it and take that time to be happy with yourself, to congratulate yourself for that accomplishment. My last point is to be confident. I feel like, again, with all of the pressure that's around you after graduation, it can be so easy to just get down on yourself and think that you're not where you are supposed to be. But we are all where we are supposed to be. You just have to acknowledge that and accept it and accept who you are and where you are in your journey and be confident with that. Your life is whatever you decide to do with it, and nobody else can tell you otherwise. So just be confident with who you are, be confident with what you believe your purpose is, and be confident in whatever actions you take going forward. Alright guys, I really hope that you got some value out of this, and I hope it made you feel less alone in your post-graduation journey, or if you're graduating college soon, I hope it prepared you and made you realize that things might not go the way that you plan, but that is okay. It is perfectly okay. And I wish you all the best of luck in your post-college journey. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It would really help me out. I will see you in my next episode of Jamieology.